Hey guys, Artosis here. Welcome back to ArtosisCasts. Today we're going to be taking a look at two very popular players going up against each other. Up here in the top right of Radeon, we have none other than Shine, Mr. Bag of Builds himself. And in the bottom left, one of the all-time greats, it is Stork. Stork certainly has been playing well recently, and we're going to see if he has what it takes to take down Shine in a cross-spawn Protoss versus Zerg matchup. Really not sure what we're going to end up seeing here. I do think that Shine is probably a little bit favored in this matchup, but I don't think it would be a huge surprise for Stork to take him down either. So while we wait for this to get started, I want to thank you guys for tuning in to ArtosisCasts. A big thanks to everyone who has subscribed. If you haven't subscribed yet, I would suggest you do so. Of course, liking this video and leaving comments is greatly appreciated as it helps it out a lot. And yeah, you know, I've mentioned a few times in some of the other videos, we have a lot of great up-and-coming stuff, including CNSL, which I'm going to be doing with much higher production quality this time. And I think you guys are really going to enjoy that. I think that's going to be a really fun one. You know, I'm really looking forward to that group of players. Obviously here we have a couple ASL players playing, so they won't be in it, but basically all the other pros, you know, the 28 players that don't get to play in ASL this season, I guess you could call it like the next 28 best players, or the next 32 best players in the world, will be playing. So, right, that's like basically between ASL and CNSL, you get like kind of the 60 top players. You know, maybe one or two might be missing or didn't want to play in one of them or something like that. But yeah, you get my drift. So very much looking forward to that. Keep your eyes peeled. It won't be too long before those videos start showing up. So anyways, we have Stork scouting around the map. He did open with a gateway, so wants to put on a little bit of Zealot pressure. Looking up at Shine's base. He went for a hatchery first into the spawning pool. And I would imagine he's going to throw down a third hatch at some point here, but the probe is coming out, so that might make it a little bit annoying for him to do. Probe, of course, can kind of chase the drone down, and it can be hard to get that third hatch to start, but actually the probe doesn't turn around in time, so Shine can very easily bring this over and go ahead and make that third hatchery without Stork being able to block it. You're going to notice he will hit that 300 minerals and be able to make it right here before Stork's probe gets there to block. You got to be quick with those turnarounds. If you are, you can kind of force another drone to come out and actually cost them a good amount of money, but I think maybe he just wanted to check the exact pool timing, something like that, or maybe he just didn't notice. Hard to say. Nexus gets started, and that's after just two Zealots get out. Third one is coming up as well. So this Zealot going to start hitting that third base. That's going to be a lot of damage, actually. Now, there are 4 lings on the way, so that's going to be enough. And in fact, going up to 8 lings. So that's even more, I think, right? Like, wow, that's a lot of Zerglings being made. Now, that makes me think that we might actually see a counterattack. I don't know if that will end up working. There is a second Zealot that's pulled back. He is going to hide this Zealot. This is an excellent place to put a Zealot. Very hard to hit there with more than one Zergling. As you can see, he pulls back. If you're standing out on the edge, obviously Zerglings can double up. And in fact, Shine sets this up so that 2 Zerglings will attack. The Zergling conga line here, utilized against Protoss. 4 other Zerglings going to go across the map and try to put some pressure on, but they can't really do anything against this, right? Not very likely. You know, you can just kind of pop one Zealot out and back it up with a probe, and yeah, Shine has to pull back. These 4 lings going after the probe, so we actually have 12 lings out. I mean, you'll eventually need them, but this is probably more earlier on than normally you would want to make, so that might be a little bit annoying here for Shine. He hasn't been able to really do anything with his Zerglings as of yet, other than stop harassment, keep some in front to watch outcoming Zealots, and, you know, he's chasing the probe, but he hasn't killed the probe yet. So, you know, feels like Shine is just, you know, maybe a couple drones lower than where he should be right now. Generally, what you want to do is watch for more when more Zealots come out, and then you can make those Zerglings and go ahead and push them back or kill them off or what it might be. Now, Lair finishing up. See if he throws that Spire down. Yep, Spire getting started. Probe of Stork continues to stay alive and is going to patrol back and forth a little bit, looking and seeing, you know, is anything else going up? Do we see a Hydralisk den? Do we see a second gas? Unfortunately, it does get picked off there, so that'll be the end of that for now. The Stargate is almost done. +1 air attacks on the way. Some additional pylons going up. Really good pylon placement for Stork, by the way. He's giving himself tons of options for where to put buildings. A really good spread there overall. So when it is time to do something like add gateway, it's not going to be a problem for him whatsoever. Also, almost 5-minute, 30-second cannon start. So that's like a pretty late cannon. Stork having some good reads and good scouting, knowing that he doesn't really need one before that. And that'll just make him a lot safer against these Zerglings. No real way for them to even begin to harass. Citadel at the natural, trying to hide that from the Overlord, I think, mostly. Going after this Overlord. And by the way, it's not that common to see a Stargate at the natural, right? Like normally you see that in the main and the second gate at the natural, but here we have both for Stork. So I just wanted to mention that because that's like, I think he was just kind of hiding it from that Overlord and making Shine think like, oh, maybe this is, you know, maybe this is like Zealots or something, right? Like could be. Not in this particular case though. Now Shine starts the +1 flyer carapace. So that definitely points towards a Mutalisk play, but it takes a while for that to finish. So we'll see, right? Evolution Chamber coming up as well. Here comes that couple of Corsairs up to see what's what. Hydralisk Den is already out. We can see that there's no upgrade. Of course, Stork cannot. Well, now we see that it has started. And again, Stork cannot. So he doesn't know for sure what's going on here. And in fact, I don't either. You know, oh, he actually catches one. I missed that flank of Scourge, but that was nice. Normally, when you see the carapace start, that means that they will go into mutas, but Shine is a long-term planner. He might actually go Hydra into muta. That is a possibility. If you go Mutalisks, it's going to be a while before you have that +1 carapace, and the carapace is incredibly important. So yeah, some Hydras do get started as these Zealots walk out. Legs and weapons will be finishing about the time that these get across the map. So that's going to allow these to have a lot more power for Stork. Taking a look over here, no static D as of yet, just started a creep colony. 3 hatcheries at that third base, 2 at the natural, 1 in the main. So a 6-hatch Hydralisk production. And again, don't forget that +1 flyer carapace is on the way. So that might come into play heavily later on. Now up come those Zealots. Okay, they poke in, they see what's what, decide to turn around. Legs and +1 just now finishing. So yeah, there they are. He has both those upgrades now. That's going to make them a lot stronger. I hear something. Oh, okay. He was just killing the egg off there for a little bit quicker unit movement. Now the Zealot's coming up. There is a sunken here, and this is enough that you really do want to turn around. So not surprised to see Stork turn around. He does get reinforcements though. May come up and attack to the left. If he can knock out these Zerglings super fast and get on top of the Hydras, that could be really good since he avoided this this sunken also hitting him. Now, the Zealots are getting on top of this very quickly. Shine having to run the Hydras away. He's already lost all of his Zerglings in 3 or 4 Hydras. Zealots turn around once again. The Corsairs coming in, seeing if they can get some kills during this time. More Hydras on the way. Range as well as Overlord speed coming up as well. That +1 flyer carapace almost done here, but not quite. And as Stork hits into the natural, does get turned around by the little choke point that his Zealots are no longer being efficient in. The Corsairs do continue to roam and get Overlord kills. Though. Look at this, 62 or 64 of 62. So we have a bit of a supply block, which is highly annoying here for Shine. One thing I want to say is so far, we haven't seen anything too tricky from Shine. Now, that being said, Shine can play just regular straight up macro games. It is actually something that he is completely capable of doing. It's just he uses mind games so often that, you know, he's kind of known for them. It's kind of like the most exciting, strongest part of his play in a lot of ways. But of course, you can't always do mind games, or it's not even really a mind game at that point, right? Like you need to be able to mix in that standard play. And so far, this is pretty standard. The only thing here that's a little bit weird is the flyer carapace. But it's not necessarily a bad play. It's just not many people do this build with flyer carapace. Now looking back at Stork, he's adding on an additional gateway, has that robo coming up. So that's going to be 2, 4, 8 gates coming up. Zealots getting on top of these Hydras, throwing a storm down there. A lot of High Templars coming out. And Stork, it just feels like Stork has had control like this entire game, right? Doesn't feel like anything Shine has done has been spectacular. It doesn't feel like he's done anything to, you know, it makes Stork like scared or posture like he was going to do damage. Like he made a few extra. Oh, wow. Hold on though. I think we're about to see Mutas. He just killed off multiple Corsairs. Now there is an Archon on the way. I think Shine might be thinking about it right now, but he's got 900 gas. He can easily pop 9 Mutas right now. And if he pops those Mutas, look, he got another High Templar. Yeah, there they are. Okay, this is what we've been waiting for from Shine. He has that +1 flyer carapace, which will be a big deal against any leftover Corsairs, but he's also reduced the Corsair count significantly. Now look, he's going to focus fire the Archon there, and as soon as that gets focus fire, we see it pull back, but also Stork should be thinking, why did he just suddenly focus fire that? Is he making Mutalisks? We haven't seen any more Hydras come out and reinforce this army. So that's something that you have to take into consideration. In fact, he started 2 cannons. Oh, that's just at the expansion. Never mind. I thought that might be like a defensive thing against possible incoming Mutas, but the Mutas pop out. Excuse me, sorry, and start to hit these Zealots. Now, they will help to clean this up. The double sunken, of course, making this really hard for Stork to get anything done. And they're going to go across the map. A Corsair is being made. Only 2 Corsairs on the map currently. So those Scourge earlier doing a great job. I believe already he made 5 to 7 Corsairs. So he's lost 3 to 5 Corsairs so far this game. You know, I mean, that's kind of a big range. I should have paid a little bit more attention than that to the Corsair counts. But yeah, he definitely has spent money on that already. So it's not like he has a ton of High Templars, but also not a ton of Corsairs. So kind of not the way you want it to go. Now, the Muta's flying to the 3rd base. They find these cannons. They will be able to delete these very, very quickly. And again, don't forget, +1 carapace is really, really good here. They will back up, though. Stork starting to try to attack. He does have a small group of Mutalisks in here as well. The Corsair is coming out to help. Excuse me, getting on top of these Hydralisks with those Zealots also. Some High Templars joining Stork's army. I'm so sorry. I did not mean to, I actually thought I muted my mic there. Then I looked over, I pressed the wrong button. My bad, guys. My bad. I use multiple microphones for different recordings. Anyways, now, this is a lot of cannons. I like this from Stork. He's really getting his 3rd base up very seriously, but he's going to have to come up here immediately. Now, the Mutas actually flew pretty far back there. They come up and they actually start to attack, but that is not going to end up working out. Stork with some great Psy Storms pops a ton of these Hydralisks. Oh my god, every single Mutalisk gone as well. Only a handful of Hydras remain, and Stork coming up with another army. Now, we actually have a ton of Hydras being rallied down. Is Stork going to have enough to hold on? I feel like he needs to warp in more cannons. He has no High Templars. He does have 8 Zealots on the way, which will help. But, well, he has 1 High Templar, as we can see, but it doesn't even have Storm ready. It's going to be almost a minute before he has a Storm on that. So we might actually see Shine overrun Stork here. We're gonna watch carefully, but see, no cannons here to help, no High Templars. The Zealots coming out can help him to kill this group, but as more groups come, you start to hit a critical mass of Hydras where you really do need Psy Storm. Okay, he did get a Storm out there and did damage the Hydras a bit, and he is picking those off, but more Hydras coming down, starting to pick off some of these stray units. Look at that. Even goes behind the mineral patches over here and makes those Zealots fight single file where they would have won on open ground easily. He actually will take that one out. So very nice adjustments. You can see targeting down the Dragoons. They're the consistent damage. You can micro endlessly against Zealots, but against Dragoons, not the case since they have better range. Now, a Dark Templar is out. Maybe you can push these Overlords back. I feel like that would be a good play here. But overall, the Hydralisk count is really, really scary right now. 3 more High Templars coming up. Ooh, picks 1 off. Another gets a Storm off. Okay, he gets Storms off of 2 of them and loses 2 of them. Not great value here for Stork, unfortunately. The supply of Shine has caught up. And down comes some Hydras. Really feels like Stork is up against the wall right now. This is a huge moment, though. DT in here killing so many drones. Shine has absolutely no idea. Stork continues to hold on, not even trying to get any cannons right now. Starts up that pylon once again. I would love to see some High Templars added in. He's making mostly Dragoons, but we do see some High Templars as well. Look at this, 10 kills. 10 kills on this assassin. Just crazy. An empty mineral line. That is really painful. Only 37 drones. So he definitely did a great job there. Looks like, meanwhile, over here, we do have some lurkers that have carved up this area. Tried to pick off this observer, but a good pullback from Stork. Stork comes up. Oh, God, he loses the observer. That is so, so painful. No cannons left over here. So the Hydras really start to go to town. And you can see without any High Templars here to help, this is incredibly hard to hold off with gateway units. Now, Stork allows his wall to die. No sense trying to keep that up. Sends a few Zealots up to this hatch, and it's empty, so maybe he can kill it. But it feels like this Hydralisk push may end up winning the game here against Stork. Stork running up his ramp, almost has energy for Psystorm, but not quite. These Dragoons do clear out those few lurkers that were left over, but in the natural, killing everything off. Even the Robo going to end up dying here. It looks like taking a ton of damage. There are a couple observers, so he is starting to kill this off. Fourth base did end up dying to those 3 Zealots, but yeah, he clears this. This is kind of a crazy game, really, when you look at it. 31 probes to 37 drones. Not a lot of mining going on here for Stork, unfortunately. Really good patches still for Shine. Shine continue to macro down these Hydras, popping in, targeting down Dragoons as quickly as possible. Even going to take down this Archon. Yeah, the Hydra's just dealing amazing explosive damage here. And yeah, Stork's been on the ropes for a while. Some good fighting back, some good counterattacks up at 6 or 12 o'clock, but not quite enough. Didn't retain those High Templars quite well enough. I think the Muta switch really threw him off a bit. But yeah, great game there by Shine and Stork. Hope you guys enjoyed. Thanks for watching.